Dates in JavaScript suck. They suck big time. It is mind-blowing to me how a programming language that is as popular as JavaScript has such bad support and developer experience for something as important and elemental as working with and manipulating dates. Apart from being able to create dates and to format dates, there is no API to, for example, add a month to a date, or subtract a week from a date, or to calculate the distance between dates. You could technically do it by turning all your dates into milliseconds and then doing the math yourself. But that won't be 100% correct because you still have to take time zones, leap seconds, leap years, daylight savings time, and other types of calendars into account. That is what the Temporal API wants to fix. The Temporal API comes with a bunch of super sexy classes for doing date and time operations. Let me show you some of them, and wait until you see the code to calculate the distance between dates, because it is just mwah. First, we have the Temporal.Now object that has methods that give information about the current date and time. With Temporal.Now instant, you can get the current system time. It is like calling date.now, but it has a nanosecond accuracy instead of milliseconds. With Temporal.Now plain date time ISO, you can easily get a date on the user's time zone or the time zone you specify. And of course, if you don't need the time, you can use the Temporal.Now plain date ISO. Or if you just want the time, you can use the Temporal.Now plain time ISO. And in case you wanted to change calendars, you can use Temporal.Now plain date time and Temporal.Now plain date with a different calendar. All of the methods I just mentioned are going to return a Temporal.Date object, which could be a plain object or a zone object depending if it has time zone or not. Or they could be plain date time objects or zoned date time objects, depending if they have a date and time. All those objects have really helpful properties and powerful methods. You can get them by using the methods we just saw, or you can construct them directly, which is great for developer experience, specifying up to the nanosecond. Once you have a date object, you can access all its super helpful properties that were, among many others, you can get the code of the month, the week of the year, check if it's a leap year or not, and even check how many days are in the month. I don't think I have to tell you how useful those properties are, but the methods of the date objects is what I like the most. You can take a date and you can add to it, or you can subtract from it. Like here, where we have a base date and then create another date 1 week into the future and another 1 week into the past. You can increase or decrease other values of the date as well. This API is so cool, but in my opinion, the coolest methods are the until and since method that allow us to super easily calculate how much time has passed since a date, or how much time is left until a specific date arrives. Take this code where we have two dates, one in the past and one in the future. All we have to do is call future since past, and we will get the amount of time since the past date until the future one. Or we can have a now date and a future date, and calling now until future, we can know how far in the future a date is. As you can see, these two methods give an output that looks a little bit weird, but don't worry. All this is a duration formatted using the ISO 8601 notation. It always starts with a P, followed by years, months, weeks, and days, followed by a T character, followed by hours, minutes, and seconds. There are other methods like equals to compare if two dates are the same, the round method to round the units of a date, or the with method to easily modify a date. I hope that by now you can see how absolutely awesome this API is, how easy it is to use, and how much it helps when working with dates. This API, however, is a stage 3, which means that it is experimental. The semantics have been finalized but is not supported yet. It is going to be added to the browsers and Node but is not ready for production. Firefox has already implemented it, and Chrome and Safari are working on it at a super slow speed. If you want to, you can try it in your project by using a polyfill, which is like a simulator of the API, by running npm install temporal polyfill, and then you can import it and start using it. But keep in mind that it's not recommended to use this polyfill in production just yet. I really hope this API lands in 2024, but I would not hold my breath. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Your subscription means a lot to me. It motivates me in creating quality content every week. So please don't forget forget to hit that button. Let me know in the comments what do you think about the Temporal API. Compared to the mess we have right now, Temporal seems like a blessing from Steve Jobs. Thank you for watching as always. Before I go, I wanted to share with you that registration is now open for our 10-week study. It is a program where instead of studying alone and giving up in the middle, we have daily code challenges and quizzes to practice what we learn. And we do it all together. We have a Discord server, weekly online calls, and we also meet offline to have some games and eat pizza and beer. Right now, registration is now open for the 10-week web study. That is for absolute beginners, where we learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Node, Express, and MongoDB. Click the link below to learn more details about it. 언제나 감사하고 사랑합니다. See you on the next one. 다음에 봐요. Bye bye.